Hello and welcome to Geetanjali Kulkarni. It's such a pleasure to have you. The first time I noticed you was in court, of course. I think the whole world sat up and noticed you in that film, and what a performance. And then,
Thank
of
you.
course, subsequently, you've enthralled us, entertained us, made us feel so good in Gullak. And this year has been quite spectacular. You returned in Gullak and you had a lovely little role in Maa Behen, which is very unlike
Yeah.
what you normally do. So, thank
Yes.
you so much for joining me, Gitanjali.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Tell me, what has this year been like? Because sometimes an actor has nothing coming out, and then sometimes you have
Yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
and there's so
Yeah.
much to talk about. So, an
Mm,
actor's life is really not in his or her control at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's never in control. And there are so many things right now which are happening. Release of Maa Behen, Gullak's fifth season. And I'm also doing a play called Karunashtake, which is a commercial Marathi play.
Acha.
So, lot of things happening at the same time. Of course, as an actor, I always feel good about it. That when your plate is full, uh, at least you know that you are going on the right track.
Right.
If so many things are happening at the same time, then maybe there is after seeing this work, maybe I'll get something different also. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody will notice. That's the hunger which an actor always has.
Right.
So yeah. But
It's
I'm very
also,
satisfied right
yeah,
now.
but it's also such a difficult profession because the waiting period sometimes is longer than the period where you're working. Although I know you're very active in theater, and I
Yeah.
just saw clips of Pia Behrupia. I wish
Yeah.
I hope I get to see the play, you know, in action. But what a performance it and what a physical performance also, physically
Hmm.
demanding. And I know
Yeah.
you have a drama school and you
Yeah.
also do workshops. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no, I
Mm.
mean, you have no reason to complain. Yet,
Yeah.
I think industry में वो थोड़ा typecast भी हो जाता है, and then
Yeah.
also when you excel in something, then they feel अच्छा, she's great in this, अब इनको यही roles देंगे. But आपके साथ हुआ है क्या?
Yeah, बहुत बहुत बार हुआ है. Lot of repetitive roles have come, especially after Gullak. There was a period when I was getting all the North Indian mother roles. And before that, it used
Very
to happen that
specific North Indian but
North Indian, because before that, after doing court, I was getting all Marathi background characters roles. So I actually used to say no to all Marathi background roles because again, as you said, आप typecast हो जाते हो. फिर गुल्लक के बाद आई थॉट कि अभी अलग अलग रोल्स के लिए वो लोग कंसिडर करेंगे, लेकिन फिर मतलब एक मदर का रोल एंड दैट टू फ्रॉम यूपी. So it that I think, and everybody faces this. I'm not saying it's
yeah, you're
happening
not
only to
alone.
me.
Bil-
Yeah, yeah. But I think this is part of the game, and you have to have that, understanding. And some people do the repetition; they don't find it, boring. I find it boring, so I have many a times I've said no to such kind of roles. So Ma Behen was again an exception because the accent was different. This was more of Bhojpuri, and also the character was opposite Shanti Mishra. It was more like a nosy neighbor and sort of a character. So I thought this is
or
my
like
chance.
Bittu ki ma.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So बिट्टू की मम्मी के जैसा था, तो I thought it will be a different shade. So I enjoyed work, and of course Suresh Trivedi sir and Pooja, working with them is altogether different because they're very good. They're excellent, I feel. Mm, and yeah, so that's a challenge, but I think it's part of the game. Today, of course, I wouldn't have said this 10 years back. I was very anxious. But today, I feel that no, it's okay. It has its own. I feel we all who all are working are so fortunate, our kind of actors. 20 years back, we didn't have this kind of opportunity at all. And I never imagined that, I will be seen so much in so many series or films. So I think. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm in a very happy space right now as far as acting is concerned.
How about theater? How is that doing? People are coming back to watch theater. They like that community space, and they want to celebrate being together in a hall and watching something live. Has that after COVID? Have you seen a resurgence in that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of change, and I think there was always an audience for theater, but after COVID, I think because of those 2 3 years of entrapment, I think people have like come back and they want to see more of theater. Of course, there is a response to certain kind of plays. Not all the plays are getting that kind of audience, but yeah, I feel that whenever I go to Prithvi, most of the shows are full or close to houseful, and people, especially actors and creators, are engaging in theater because they have. I think many of young actors have understood that it's you work on yourself when you are doing rehearsals. So I think that approach has also changed a lot, and there is a lot of time also in between, especially when you're doing series or films. In between there is so much of time, then people want to work on themselves. Actors want to be part of a community. Everybody is trying to find their own community also. So I think that also has created that kind of atmosphere of uh, theater making thing is happening more. People are coming and seeing. Of course, I won't say that it's happening to all kinds of plays. The plays which are very experimental or are trying to do something different. I'm not sure whether they are getting that kind of audience or not. Those
Yeah,
plays which have popular faces or
yeah.
are in that मतलब ऑडियंस को जो अच्छा लगता है या मजा आता है या एज पर इज मराठी इज कंसर्न, जो कॉमेडीज होते हैं उनको ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्स मिलता है,
Mm.
या जो फेमस एक्टर्स होते हैं और वो कब जब आते हैं तो उनको ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्स मिलता है rather than somebody who's doing some different kind of work.
Because not everybody is lucky enough to go to NSD like you. I mean, there's so much that you must have learned there, and
Yeah,
also from your classmates.
yeah,
I imagine. Who were
yeah.
your contemporaries there?
Actually, Swanand was my
Oh,
contemporary.
that's nice.
Nawaz was my contemporary. And sorry, just a second, I'll put on the AC. Swanand, Nawaz, Nivedita Bhargav, Sanjeev Wilson, Suman Zaid. They were all my. Chitranjan Tripathi, who is now director of NSD, he was also my classmate.
Oh, how
So
nice.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you go back to teach sometimes?
I have not gone to NSD, but I have done some extension programs of NSD. Of course, it was also a long time back, but I was more involved in Drama School Mumbai. So that was, I'm the founder member of Drama School Mumbai. So first, last decade, especially from 2012 to 2015, I was very much involved there. Then I started working in my village, so I prefer to go to my village and work with children, and because I think they need it more rather than me going to National School. There are a lot of teachers who can come to National School of Drama and teach there, but there is nobody who will coordinate all these things and conduct workshops in my village for my children, for my village
Where are
children.
you
So
from? Which is this village?
yeah, I work in a village called Sonare, which is in Vada Taluka in Palghar district. It's just 110 kilometers from Mumbai. But theater is not, of course, part of their culture, and all their traditional arts are not, they don't perform that much. So now it's just DJ. So I thought that, storytelling, theater should be part of their life because at least they'll have a space to express and tell their stories in their language. So, so we are trying to do something, and I've recently performed. Our children performed at Prithvi.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, yeah,
That is
and
very lovely. What did they perform?
it's a play called Jikni, which is in their own language. It's in Katkari language, and
Kasturi.
Katkari, K
Kat.
K A T K A R I. it's a tribe from Maharashtra, and all the children, there are 12, 13 children in that play, and they created it in almost, they took 1.5 years. And Ruchika Khote is a writer, director, and music composer and lyricist of that play. And I produced it. Me and my sister-in-law, we both produced the play.
Wow.
So yeah, so this kind of curation and this kind of work I'm more interested in. So I feel that, Drama School Mumbai or National School of Drama, all these institutions have a lot of faculty, members who can come and, share their experiences or their processes. But when there is dearth of people who come there, so I find my my interest is that, where there is no facility or there is no infrastructure, or no there are no such kind of performances or experiences for the community or for the children. I love to go there and, this do these kind of activities. So
Did
that's
you grow
my.
up there?
No, 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 no. I
Okay.
used to work with one organization, and I used to head one program called Goshtaranga, where we used to perform children's literature in ashram schools and ZP schools. So I was head of that project, and that's how I got to know about that village. That's how me and Atul, my husband, we built a house there, and we created a space called Tarpa, where all the children come and, they play, they read books, they watch theater, they rehearse, and work. All the workshops happen over there.
I often wonder what your dinner table or lunch table conversations must be like. Two fantastic actors in one home. It must be, you must be having so much to talk about.
Generally, it's all about not just films and theater.
Life, life experiences.
Yeah, yeah. Because thankfully, both of us have similar kind of, interests. So we enjoy this kind of, working with communities, being aware of what's happening around us and talking about it, and trying to, make it as simple as we can. Of course, we all know that, because we being actors and, we being in this industry, we tend to have some luxuries, and we also enjoy that. I'm not saying that we don't enjoy that, but at the same time, we are careful that we don't get um affected by that, or we don't take that for granted, or we don't it's not that we want these kind of luxuries for our all our life. We also try to live a simpler and very normal life, and which we both prefer. And that's why whenever we get time, we go to our village, and we work with the community as far as we can.
That's very difficult. It's a very difficult choice you made. I mean, it sounds very simple, but
Hmm.
especially in this age of everyone wanting to be like everyone else, it's very difficult to stand out and say, this is what I stand for, and not be sort of judgmental about other people, but just say
Hmm.
that this is my choice and this is the way I would like to live.
Hmm.
I mean, sure, glamour is great, fame is wonderful, money
Yeah.
is terrific too. But, there are certain values that I would not like to give up.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
very easy thing to do, isn't it?
I think it's very easy. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think rather it's for me. It is. Uh, I feel very comfortable. If I have to do something extraordinary, or like, if I have to go with, if I have to make reels every day, or if I have to do makeup every day and, go for some event, it's more difficult for me. For me, going traveling, working with children, or workshopping, or doing theater, that comes very naturally to me because I've been trained for that. But for me to be glamorous, to go for events is very difficult. So
Not
I'm
that
not.
you're bad at it, you're very good at it.
But yeah, but I have to take a lot of efforts for that. So that doesn't come naturally to me, and I'm not saying that, I don't want to do it, but I'm not equipped for that. I don't have that kind of temperament of getting ready and, being in that different kinds of costumes and makeup and
Yeah,
hairdo.
because they are costumes, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
not just
yeah,
clothes, they're
yeah,
an entire personality that you have to don, which may not be
yeah.
yours, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm very comfortable in my casual clothes, a simple whatever, no makeup, just kajal or something like that is more comfortable to me. Of course, I know that's not, an actor has to portray that image because so that then you get different kinds of roles. You're seen in different kinds of,
Yeah.
attires. Then people can imagine or visualize you in different. I know that's the demand, but I don't know. I'm not that sort of a person, so it becomes very difficult for me.
You deal with a lot of young people also from both rural and urban
Yeah.
areas. What is the sense that you get? Everyone talks about Gen Z and how different they are from us and all that. What is the sense that you get? What are they looking for from life? When we look around, there's so much of division and so much of hatred, and you think, they're growing up in this world, and what have we left them in a way?
Yeah, yeah.
But what is your opinion of them?
I, I I feel that whenever I work with youngsters, I feel they're very talented. I feel they're very skilled, but they have a lot of choices, and so they get confused because of that, and also because they're very quick, they understand things very early.
Yeah,
And like for me, it took, maybe 10 years to understand what is acting and, what is my process. And they understand it like within a year or two. So for them to be consistent is very difficult.
yeah,
It's not their fault. It's that generation, you are always product of your era.
exactly.
So if as we as, uh, if we judge them, I don't think it is correct. What I tell my nieces and nephews that our lives were completely different. We didn't have freedom, we didn't have money, and we didn't have internet. So
And
so
really, we didn't have any of these. I mean,
yeah,
whatever freedoms we had to really struggle to get them.
struggle for it. And we didn't have money and that
Yeah,
kind of money which is there around,
yeah. And
yeah.
you wonder, how did we grow up without money and we were so happy?
Yeah, and we didn't have internet, so we didn't
Yeah.
have much choice.
But we knew
So
a lot also. It's not that
yeah,
we
we knew
didn't.
a lot, but there was like I wish I had, after my NSD, I would have loved to go abroad, and I would have loved to go and study, but I didn't have that kind of information at that time. And of course, I didn't seek also. It's not just that I didn't have but maybe if I had a phone in my hand, I would have, you know, gone somewhere to learn to do my post graduation or something like that in acting or in theater making. So yeah, I of course I didn't have that kind of money. I had a lot of pressures. I had to earn my own living. So all these things matter a lot, but that's fine. There are no regrets, but at the same time, I can understand their life. It's very confusing. There is nobody you can. There were ideals in my life. I used to adore Vijay Mehta's work. I used to adore Sai Paranspe's work. I used to watch Sri Ram Laghu on theater, and I watched so many legendary actors on theater and in TV also, like Anita Kanwal, Deepa Sahi, Pankaj Kapoor, Om Puri ji. So all these legendary actors, I used to watch them on TV, and they were my ideals. So today it is very difficult to, and there was just one Doordarshan, which was curated for an audience. Today there is so much of choice. If you don't get that information, or if you're not aware, or if you don't curate for yourself, you might see something which is, you know very not of your taste, and you won't be exposed to different kinds of actors and stories. So it is difficult today. It is difficult to choose and to learn and to be consistent. It's very difficult in today's times.
You said something very interesting, the question of taste. And this is something, which I always wonder about. How do you build that taste, Because we came upon it by accident,
Yeah.
We read the classics because there was nothing else, or we watched some great actors on TV. And I'm not saying we're perfect, far from it, but we
Hmm.
had a certain kind of taste,
Hmm.
Now the idea of taste itself is something that is considered elitist. What do you mean by
Hmm.
taste? Is it highbrow, lowbrow? Is it somewhere in between? That idea of taste itself has become a very contentious space, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, it has both sides. I feel
Yeah.
that it is also accessible because of that many different kinds of stories have come across. But at the same time, that's what it's very confusing. You cannot judge. Earlier it was easy to judge. Today we
What
cannot
is
judge.
good? What is not good?
Yeah, it's very because like if you have heard of that song Gulabi Sadi and
Yeah.
that when I saw the video, I was like, it's like that man is trying to empower his wife, and whatever she don't make chai for me, you do this video. So I thought that it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So how can you judge by just because uh, as far as that elitist taste is concerned, that it's not a classic, but it is endearing, and it is he's taking care of his wife, whatever his wife's ambition are, he's trying to provide her with cameras and whatever phone, and you dance well, so I'll shoot you, don't worry. So that's what that song says. And then I felt when I heard the song, I didn't like it much, but when I saw it, I said no, it has a meaning, and why am I judging it? So I started questioning myself. So I think stories which are coming from uh, in India especially, uh, we cannot ignore caste system in India, and that's why, and caste system and classism somewhere, it is yeah, and that's why when a particular person talks especially in Marathi, we have a standard Marathi, which is which belongs to a certain class and caste. But when somebody speaks in different kind of Marathi, we judge. That is not correct, I feel, because every language has its flavor.
Yeah.
Every language has its, in Marathi, when I don't like to call dialects, but whatever language, like Katkari language, it has its own beauty, it has its own knowledge. So, how am I going to judge by if somebody says, a different kind of word for a instead of a standard word? So, who am I to judge? Just because I don't have knowledge of that language, and just because I have uh, some power, cultural power, should I judge that person?
Right.
So, I think that has changed, and it's confusing, but I think it's good that churning is good, I feel. And
Again, you said something so interesting. Sorry to interrupt. This
mm,
idea of cultural power. Who
yeah,
has that cultural power now?
yeah, yeah,
Earlier,
yeah,
we were very sure. Okay, Vijay Tendulkar has cultural power. All the names that you mentioned.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, they had Sham Benegal. All these
yeah,
people had. Now you don't know. Does
mm,
the state is also interested in
mm,
cultural power, individuals, institutions. Who has that one
mm.
defining cultural power?
That's why that right and wrong thing, na, that has changed. So um, I think this is what I know. It's very difficult, but at the same time, we have to constantly learn and change ourselves. That has become challenging. Earlier, it used to be that, अच्छा, मैंने ये कमा लिया, मुझे ये मिल गया. Now I can, just sit on that and enjoy life. Now it's not like that. Every day you have to learn. Every day you have to think what is right, what is wrong, what is good for people. around me and for our community or for our society. So constantly we have to think, and I think that makes us very uncomfortable.
Right, right. And this is us with so many years of experience. Just
Yeah,
imagine a
yeah,
20-year-old, 22-year-old, how
I,
confused they must be. And yet,
yeah, yeah.
this is the world we are in now.
But at the same time, I think that's why they are that's the power also, because earlier, whenever a senior person used to come to me, or I would
You would just
meet a
shut
senior
up.
person. Yeah, yeah, and I was so, even if not necessarily I respected that person, I had to say namaste, hello, and I have to be very kind. And today's generation is not bothered who you are, and I like that. I like that equality, you know. During when I was young, I couldn't do it. I didn't have that kind of, power or training to be, I couldn't treat my senior actors equally. But today there is no fear, and I really like that. I feel comfortable working with youngsters. When I worked with Chaitanya, I was 40 years old and he was 25 years old. But I thought that he's so intelligent. He's intelligent than me. He has more awareness, and the kind of story he's telling is so important. So I should respect him. So it's not that, just because I'm 40 years old, I'm older than him, or I have more experience than him, I should be, treated like a senior or something like that. No, we all are equals, and I really believe in that. And I personally like that.
How do you look at age? Has it empowered you, liberated you, or has it made you more aware of the process of aging?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this age a lot. And yeah, it
Welcome
has.
to the club. I'm much older than you. I think it's empowering, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel so liberated, as you said. I was so confused. I was so fearful. I was not sure of myself. Today also, I'm not sure of myself many a times, but that I can accept. Today I say, no, I'm not sure of this. 20 years back, when I had to say this, I thought that I'm weak when I'm saying this. So today I don't feel that, and I'm really comfortable with myself, and because of that, I'm more open. I'm more, I'm not worried about what people will think. But at the same time, I'm also aware that I have to, I have to manage my emotions. I have to say, whenever I'm at fault, I have to say sorry. I have to be kind to people. So all these things, I think I've learned because of my experiences, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm really happy that, I never feel that, I should have been younger. I never feel that. I feel that I'm very happy that I'm 53 and I'm enjoying this period with a lot of, confidence. Yeah.
How is the work? How are the roles? How is that going?
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing right now, as I told you, I'm doing a play called Karunashtake,
Yeah.
I'm playing an antagonist, and it's a commercial play. It's doing very well. We have got a lot of awards also for the play, and I also got a few awards. So it's nice. As far as screen work is concerned, I'm getting very fewer roles. Gullak 6 is happening. That's what I heard. That's what we are
Oh,
in
oh, I'm
talks with
so
them.
happy, really, because we were
Yeah.
told that it's the
And
last season.
I could get more different kinds of roles, but uh, right now I'm at least nobody has approached me for anything interesting. And I've done a series for Netflix. It's called Pila. I think next year it will release. And the rest, yeah, वो तो auditioning and काम ढूंढना तो चलता रहता है.
आपको अभी भी ऑडिशन करना पड़ता है?
Yeah. After just a day after Maa Behen released, I got a call from one casting agency that, can you speak Punjabi? I said that I cannot speak Punjabi. I'm a Maharashtrian, but if you teach me, I can.
Yeah.
So would you do an audition? I said, I'll do the audition, but I can't speak Punjabi. I will try to bring that flavor, but I don't know authentic Punjabi, so I won't get into that. But of course, I'll try to bring that flavor. And if you feel that I'm right, then I'm ready to get tutored for Punjabi, and so
So did you do that audition?
yeah, I did
Yeah.
it.
Have you got it? Never
No,
got
not
that?
yet. Not yet. I haven't got a call from there.
Okay, Geetanjali, I wanted to understand when you have to learn an accent. So, does the actor, for instance, for Gullak or Maa Behen, did you have to invest in the accent coach yourself, or does the production do it for you?
गुल्लक में क्या हुआ कि the writer for the first season, Nikhil Vijay, he worked with me. So I
Acha.
got the sense, and now I have that understanding. And whoever the writer is, generally they tell me how to say those
Ah,
lines if I'm not getting it right.
right.
And for Ma Behen, of course, we had a tutor, Ganesh sir. He taught us Bhojpuri, and he was really very good at it. He used to make us sing, and
Acha.
he's an excellent coach. So dance
How
coach.
was that? How was that cast? Working with that cast must have been great fun. So many women and such strong
Yeah,
women all together.
yeah, absolutely. Actually, my scenes were more with my daughter,
Yeah,
Rama, who played Goldie's role. So me and her scenes were together. But yeah, whenever uh, two, three scenes which I had with Madhuri ma'am and Trupti and Dharna, I really enjoyed because Madhuri ma'am, I was so surprised, she was rehearsing her lines and she was, taking her own time, to uh, give it to that scene. She was not in a hurry, ki nahi, nahi, jaldi jaldi karo, nipta do. No. She was listening to Pooja. Pooja was constantly telling her about the accent, so she was taking so much of effort. And I imagined that if I was in her place, मैं इतना मेहनत करती क्या? So I felt that it's, whenever a person, especially actors who reach a certain stage, it's not easy. It's a very laborious job. So I think all these actors who have become stars, it has not come very easily to them. They have really worked hard. And that's why they are here for, 30, 40 years in this position. So I feel really very fortunate to have worked with Madhuri ma'am, and Tripti is so talented and she's so she's so down to earth, and Dharna, of course, we all love her. I love her work. So everybody, it was, and Suresh sir is amazing. Suresh sir is so good with all the actors. He himself is such a wonderful actor, and he's not just good with actors. He's so kind with the whole crew, and the whole atmosphere on the set is so vibrant, and every and constructive. All his team, all his crew, Anuj sir, and everybody. Pooja has written the script, but at the same time, she was there with us in every scene, and she was like after us. You have to say this line in this tone, and this is the word, and you have to pronounce it in a certain way. She has taken so much of efforts, not just
but
dialogue writing.
yeah, but there's no team like the Gullak team. The Gullak
And
family is the best.
yeah, they're very notorious, very mischievous, especially the younger one, Harsh Meyer, who
Yeah,
plays Aman's role.
yeah.
He's very notorious, and but that's sort, that's the energy of Gullak. He brings in lot of energy, and of course, working with Jameel
Oh, he's such
is
a talented person.
and such a nice person to work with. I'm very anxious, and I'm really, ये नहीं हो रहा यार, ये ऐसे करना है. हो जाएगा, don't worry. So yeah,
Exactly
working,
like his character.
yeah, absolutely. And
So, yeah.
Sunita is a very dear friend, and we were together at NSG. She
Oh,
was
right.
1 year
She's from
junior.
NST too,
Yeah,
right?
she was 1 year junior to me, and we were very good friends at that time also. And during the shoot also, it's whenever she's there, I'm very happy because uh, otherwise there are a lot of men on set.
Yeah.
On
How did
Gullak
you go
sector.
to NST? How did you go to NST, Gitanjali? I mean, you had heard about it. How did that happen?
Of course, I was like very aware of NSD since I think my eighth or ninth standard, because I was in awe of all these actors, which I used to watch on Doordarshan. So I had read about them in Times of India or in Marathi newspapers, um, and because I'm from a Maharashtrian family, I used to watch theater a lot, and I used to take I used to participate also in all theater activities which used to happen in our colony.
Where did
And
you grow up? In Mumbai?
in Mumbai, in Powai,
Oh,
in
nice.
near IIT campus.
Yeah,
We had
IIT.
a colony of all Maharashtrians, and who
What
those
did your
who
parents do?
my father was on ship. He was a captain
Oh,
in Merchant Navy, and my mother was an administrative, superintendent in academics department of IIT.
oh,
Yeah,
how nice.
yeah.
So it
So
must have been quite an academic sort of cultural
he,
environment.
yeah, of course, my parents, as far as hobby was concerned, they were very happy. But when I told them that I'm taking this as a profession, they were not, because my mother used to act in dramas and all, so that was not like no thing, but not as a career. They wanted me to be a postgraduate, or go to work in a bank, or work as a teacher or a professor, but of course I didn't. After my graduation, I went to NSD, and during my graduation, there was this professor called Sudha Nair who helped me a lot, and my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, Sharmila. She was a new entrant in our family, and she supported me a lot. She was from TIS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences,
Oh,
so she had that kind of and
thinking.
she was from, yeah, in she was inclined to arts. She knew what I wanted, and she was young, so I could relate to her. My parents
Nice.
were quite old at that time, so they didn't
Yeah.
understand what I wanted, and she was the only person who could understand what I wanted to do, and she supported me a lot. So
Oh, that's
that's
good.
why it happened. Yeah.
Which college did you go to?
Ruya.
Oh, nice.
And actually,
So,
I got admitted to Ruya because I wanted to be part of drama circle. So that was very clear. I just
you're a real
filled one
Mumbai
form.
girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
True, true.
Yeah.
So NSD must have been quite a shock because it's A, it's in Delhi. B, it has people from everywhere.
Yeah. It wasn't a shock. It was, I didn't, it was very difficult to calibrate, of course, but I think that's a journey which I'll never forget in my life, because all my classmates, all my teachers, whenever I talk about NSD, I say that it was my rebirth, because I was not at all. um I never studied. I was never a studious person. I was acting just, because I loved it. I thought that it's so easy. That's what I thought, because I was not good in academics. So I thought I'm going to enjoy my life. That's what that's how I saw life. But then I went to NSD, I realized that, art is so important, and you do so much of research, and you have to, sorry, when you are acting, it's not just acting. You have to understand the character, you have to understand the background, you have to understand the society, you have to understand the history.
So that sort of made you understand.
Yeah, and it's that 3 years of training is still helping me, and it really made me a different person. And it not just made me a not just shared some acting experiences or acting skills with me, but it made me a different human being, a more aware human being, and it also showed me a path to live my life, I feel.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Geetanjali. And
Thank you
so
very much.
nice to know that Gullak is coming back. We were feeling that it would be the end of it, but it's so nice to know
No,
it'll come.
I'm sure of course, they've not shared the script
Yeah.
with me yet, but they're in writing process. That's what they've said.
Shanti Mishra Zindabad.
Thank you, Kaveri. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Nice talking to you.